Marcus Tullius Cicero, orator, statesman, and defender of republican values, might well have been surprised by his posthumous success as a philosopher. During his lifetime, he considered philosophy an honourable undertaking, at times even describing it as a prerequisite for effective citizenship. But in his view, it was never to be the primary occupation of a free person, whose chief responsibility was to defend and augment the public good. He composed his philosophical treatises only during the periods of his life when political engagement seemed dangerous, immoral, or impossible. Their hasty, distracted composition is sometimes evident. Despite their high literary value, they lack the stylistic finish of his best speeches. Yet it is precisely because the philosophical treatises of Cicero emerge from a context of political and social engagement that they have retained their hold on successive generations of readers. Cicero is the antitype of the ivory tower scholastic. His insights and arguments, even when borrowed or adapted from Greek predecessors, intensify in value for having been tested in the crucible of experience. Without reducing philosophical complexity to mere platitudes, Cicero nonetheless communicates a sense that there are answers to life's basic questions. Why am I here? What am I to make of myself? Does the universe hold any meaning? Is death and evil to be feared? The answers he offers are tentative and, as he himself would insist, open to review. But they are answers that made a difference to him and to many others throughout history. The essence of Ciceronian philosophy is a sense of wonder at the interconnectedness of human beings to one another and to the universe that encompasses them. From his early writings on republican government to his final essay on duties, he speaks less of personal happiness than of the relationship between interior and exterior, the one and the many, the present and eternity. The ultimate good of life is virtue, and virtue, far from being a self-righteous adherence to rules, is action in accordance with nature. The ideal life is one attuned to the particularities of the here and now, understood as manifestations of a larger cosmic order. Cicero recommends, without affirming, the Stoic view that the human soul is composed of the same substance as the stars, a fiery breath that animates the universe. Some of the most memorable passages in his philosophical works play on the Latin use of terms for fire, kindling, and heat to describe high spirits and passionate commitment. For Cicero, love of country, dedication to honour, and zeal for knowledge are all flashes of the same divine or cosmic spark and expressions of virtue. Impulses that we might differentiate as political, moral, and intellectual are all part and parcel of what it means to be a human being, of the fit between individual and world. Cicero derives his philosophical guidelines not through abstract reasoning from first principles, but through observation of the world, his own and that of his predecessors and interlocutors. For this reason, he presents his philosophy in the form of dialogic exchange between historical personages, and draws heavily, sometimes overtly, sometimes not, on the arguments and examples of earlier writers. Cicero's use of contemporary and historical figures in his dialogues is at times seen as a way of making his ideas more palatable to a resistant Roman readership, which it probably did. But it also matches literary form to philosophical argument, since in Cicero's view it is only through human experience in the world and reflection thereon that philosophical truths, or more likely probabilities, emerge. For Cicero, memory, both personal and communal, is a vital source of knowledge, to be respected and shaped accordingly. So too, Cicero's reliance on Greek writers and teachers is less an adaptation or popularization of superior reasoning, as it is still sometimes regarded, and more an appropriation of the articulated experience of thoughtful predecessors. It seems unlikely that Cicero would have been troubled by charges that he lacked originality, because for him the task of philosophy was not to find new truths, but to relate accumulated wisdom to present circumstances.